Hi, Ross. Welcome to the ARHA podcast. I'm Javier Wu.
I'm Michael.
I'm Chloe.
And just to start off, would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. My name is Ross Meltzer. I'm a Canadian. I'm currently living in Israel, just in the mountains outside of Jerusalem. Born in 1961 in Georgetown, Ontario, small little town. And when I was 3 years old, Javier, Chloe, and Michael, the firefighters used to wet down the back hydro field, and we used to walk out of our backyards and skate for hours and hours upon end.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow.
My dad even told me stories of how the moose would walk down the main street of Georgetown. I'm not sure if that's true.
Ross,
Yes.
we know you're currently running a referee training program in Israel. And why did you decide to start a referee training program in Israel?
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just tell you a little bit of the history of Israel, because that'll help with why I'm doing it. In the 1990s, Israel got a certification from the International Ice Hockey Federation. Actually, a friend of Professor Hyman of mine started the program here, and they have 5 international teams now. And in the 90s, Roger Nielsen would come here every summer and run summer camps. So there's kind of a history of Canada and Israel working together. And there's a large arena in the north called the Canada Center. It's a huge international surface. There's now 3 surfaces in Israel. So I climbed Mount Sinai and I fell in love with Israel in 1978. Of course, knowing there's hockey, and I lived my life in Canada, and I finally retired 3 years ago from teaching in Toronto, and moved to Israel. So I knew of the hockey program in Israel. I also knew that the referees were not as good as the quality of the players. Most of the players in Israel are either North American, Russian, or maybe like 25% Canadian born. And so I knew that the refereeing program would need upgrading. So I was here in the summer of 2013 and the summer of 2017 for international tournaments. And at that point, I knew that I could help.
When did you start refereeing?
I played 6 times a week until I was 40 years old. That would have been 1961 plus 40, 2001. I took a year off of hockey. I thought I was done with hockey. And then a friend recommended I try. So I've been refereeing for the last 20 years. It's about 2002.
Nice.
I'm a level 4 Canadian official, Hockey Canada official.
In terms of levels, what is like an NHL level referee?
So you could be OHL, AHL, you could be level 3, level 4. By the time you're in NHL, you're level 4. Level 5, you do international tournaments, and there's also level 6. So most guys in NHL start at level 4 and then go to level 5 and 6.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Moving on, we just wanted to ask, how has your transition from Canada to Israel been, and what has it been like to like adapt and change your lifestyle, if anything like that?
So that's a great question. I told you that I retired from Toronto. I was a teacher in Toronto, and I was part-time referee. Most referees in Toronto, it's kind of a second job. So it's kind of a second job here as well. And I decided to continue teaching part-time. So I work at the American School in Jerusalem. And so I have a number of English-speaking friends there. And through hockey, I have a number of friends. So the transition has been great. And hockey probably takes up about 4 times a week, 3-4 hours each time. So 15 or 16 hours. And I've trained in the last year and a half. I became the referee in chief of Israel Hockey, and I've trained 24 new referees. And we now have 5 of our officials are certified at the IIHF level, the International Ice Hockey Federation level. So they're eligible to go now and referee international tournaments.
Nice.
That's great.
So for this program, what would you say are your goals for them, and how would you plan to achieve them?
So goals for refereeing, I definitely want to make a transition. Most of our referees are players because they love to play. So I want to see if I can move some of those players into a position where they realize that refereeing could be a very good part-time career and make money instead of paying money for hockey. I also want to make sure that they understand the rules, because the international rules are a little bit different than Hockey Canada rules. And finally, my goal for them is to have opportunities. We had a guy this year go to Hungary and referee. We sent him over. And so my goal for them was to have opportunities in different countries throughout Europe where they can get better and hone their skills.
Yeah, that's really great.
How successful would you say this program has been so far, like in terms of like training young referees?
So far it's kind of fledgling, and obviously Corona has really hampered it. We've been, and I don't know if you know about Israel, but we've been locked down more days than any other country. We also have, I don't know what percentage, 50, 60, 70% of the population. I'm vaccinated. I'm coming back to Canada this summer, so we're vaccinated, but we're now kind of heading back into normal life. So I would say that it's somewhat successful considering Corona. And now that we're going back, I'm really going to do more supervision. So not just referee myself on the ice with them, but I'll watch from the stands. I'll take videos. I'll give them lots of feedback. So I think that considering things, we're doing okay.
That's great to hear. Thank you.
So what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Have a great full-time job. Honestly, Chloe, I'm sorry to say, but there are only a few people that can really, at the professional levels, make it. So like for me, I didn't mention earlier, but I've been accepted to supervise referees, also France, Germany, Spain, Hungary, like all the different countries. I can now go abroad as well and actually supervise them and train in Europe. I was accepted to a program. But that will that they'll pay for. But the work that I do, a lot of the work that I do, the supervising, the traveling, the gas, moving around, a lot of that's my own money, and so it's definitely a good part-time job. I'm in physical education. I teach sports. I taught sports in Canada and here, and I would say that use hockey, use sports management, use different things in sports where you can also have an amazing opportunity to teach and train and be an administrator in hockey like I am.
It seems like you've traveled a lot in your life. What are some places that are your favorite places that you've been to?
So that's a great question. I told you I took a year off hockey in 2001. I shipped a motorcycle to England, and I rode a motorcycle from London, England to Israel.
Wow.
Crazy. That's
14 countries, including Morocco and Spain and Italy, Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, France, Germany, Switzerland, Portugal. And I'll be honest with you, you're gonna be upset with me, but the most beautiful country I've ever been to, and I've been to North America, South America, the most beautiful country I've ever been to, Israel.
We gotta go travel.
That's definitely a place I want to visit. Yeah, I'll put that on the list.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There'll be a car waiting for you at the airport, Michael, when you show up, okay?
Thank you.
Truly a multicultural, it's a first world country, high tech. It's an amazing country when it comes to engineering and technology and military defense, things that they've designed, business as well. And on top of that, we have 3 hockey rinks, and there's 5,000 to 6,000 people playing hockey here.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Good question.
I think we can wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope that you have the best with your referee program, and please feel free to update us whenever. We'd love to hear more about this, and Do you have any last words you have for maybe some aspiring hockey players or aspiring referees in the future?
Go Leafs, go! But aspiring referees, you have to have a thick skin, Michael. I'm sure you know in the technology world, in the podcast world, you have thick skins. Referees for sure.
For sure.
Thick skin, and don't take things personally.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
see you guys next time.
Welcome. I appreciate having you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.